Hey, welcome everybody. This is CP Cards and Dice, and this is your home for chat tutorials, strategy, player profiles, history, news, and much, much more. Hope everybody's doing well, and you're joining us for an ABPB basic presentation. We are playing at Fulton County Stadium, May 8th, 1987. It's going to be the Mets versus the Braves. We got some Topps cards out from either 87 or 88. Let me take a quick peek. Hope I got the 88 set. Yes, I did. Good job. All right. Wasn't sure what set I had picked up. And these certain years and certain sets are not very expensive. Philip Reynolds in the house. Welcome, Philip Reynolds. We're right about to get started with an ABPB, a double header. An ABPB double header. And the first one's going to be a standard ABPB. The second one's going to be an ABPB quick play or fast play. So that's what we're doing. I know a lot of guys pronounce it APBA, but the company did a lot of advertising because a lot of people had trouble with that. And the company went out of their way to advertise how to say it. And they showed it in the well, they advertised it. They put it out in their vowels and their consonants section there, and they did a promotion to get people to say ABPB. All right, I have the 27th. Now, what did I do with the 26th? This is really wait a second. I think I know what I did. Yeah, okay. That was getting me distracted. Yeah, they promoted how to say ABPB. And let me get a card here the way you say it. Right? Let's see if we can get a card out. So we're ready to start the game. It is the Braves at home, and they're pitching Zane Smith against the Mets at Fulton County Stadium, pitching Ron Darling. Mets lineup is going to be Wilson, Tuffle at second base. At first base is Hernandez batting third, Carter, and I'll put that out here. You can see that. And we're going to fill it out as we go. Center fielder is Wilson. Second baseman batting second is Tuffle. First baseman is Hernandez batting third. Catchers Carter, Strawberry in right field. Left fielder is McReynolds, batting 6th. Batting 7th is Hojo. Oh, he's playing short. Let's do that. Magadan is the 8th place batter at third base. And then finally, it's Ron Darling, pitcher. And we're going to get started pretty quick. Let's get Shea Stadium out. Did a lot of work just for this one game. And then we're going to switch over, get a doubleheader going. And I'm going to put the pitchers out. That's always fun to do. And what I wanted to do is play on this mat, which is kind of cool. I got this mat from somebody who created it for History Maker Baseball. Let me show you that mat. It's a little bit better view of what's going on here. There we go. So this is Shea Stadium, and we're going to get the pitchers, home pitcher, away pitcher, and we're going to get the home team, and we're going to get the away team. And we are pretty much ready to roll here. So I got that out. On the left, I'm going to try to fit in the scorecard. And you may be able to see that happening. I may be able to have to move this light and maybe manipulate some other lights. I think that's a little bit better. Let's see. Let's turn that one off. Turn these on. And I think we're good. I think we are good to start the game. Let's do that. And I got it all happening. All right, APA is a red die and a white die. And you read the red to white, like a 3-6 would be a 36. And it's going to be Mookie Wilson leading it off. Let's see what Wilson does. Now, APA cards don't have any stats or anything, but they do have like information on the players. Bamberg, South Carolina. That's where William Hayward Mookie Wilson is from. They have his weight, his height, the day he was born, has personal information, which kind of personalizes the card, makes it kind of cool. But that's a 31. And let's see. Zane Smith is a C. So that's going to be a ground ball to third base. 1 out. Next is Tim Tuffle. That's a 51. That's line base hit for Tuffle. So there's a runner on first already for the Mets. Now, Mets have a pretty good team in 87. They end up, I think, 3 games out of it at the end. I think St. Louis wins. I can't remember off the top of my head. This is Keith Mex Hernandez. That's a 46, strike 3. Zane Smith strikes out Hernandez. And with 2 out, it's Carter. The kid Carter, that's foul ball. So 61, that's going to be a ground ball to short. He's going to flip to the second baseman, and that retires the side. Next is Hall. Oh. Hall leading off. Here's the pitch from Ron Darling. That's a 42 off Hall, and that's going to be ball 4. So Hall walks. Albert Hall, he's in the penitentiary right now. Yeah, he's going to spend a long time in the penitentiary. Al, Red Sox fan in the house. How are you, my brother? Good to have you. Ken Obergfell, left-handed batter, third baseman. He's actually a top third baseman. He's rated a 5. I'm not sure if I believe they may have gone up to 6, but I'm not totally sure. But I know 5 is like one of your top third basemen. Here's Obergfell. That's a 24. That's going to be a pop-up to the left field. And right there is McReynolds, 1 out. Gerald Perry, 26. That's a ground ball. Hit to the shortstop. Hojo flips to Tuffle. Back to first. 6-4-3 double play out of the inning. So Mets turn it. And it's going to be McReynolds, Strawberry actually leading it off. And then McReynolds. And then Hojo. Here's the pitch to Strawberry. That's a 15. That's line base hit for Strawberry. Runner on first. McReynolds is the next batter. Here's the pitch to McReynolds, and there goes Strawberry, and he is safe at second base underneath the tag. That's a strike to McReynolds, so he's 0-1. That's a 44, and that's line base hit, and that's going to score Strawberry. No throw to the plate. Mets are up 1-0. RBI single for Kevin McReynolds. Next is Hojo, 46, strike 3. Zane Smith, the lefty, strikes out Hojo. And Dave Magadan. Ron Darling, the batter, 22. And that's going to be a single base hit. And McReynolds is going to hustle over to third with 2 outs. So Darling keeps the inning alive. And what do we got so far here? Runners on first and third, 2 outs. And it's going to be Mookie Wilson, the Mook. He grounded out to third in his first at bat. Haven't had to look at the charts yet, but this is a game that you got to look at charts. I know most of the numbers by heart. That's a 10. You see, now I'm going to have to look at a chart because I believe that the pitcher, Zane Smith, is a C, and he is. Both pitchers are C pitchers. First and third, a 10. And that now it's a book. It used to be charts. Now it's a book. First and third under a C pitcher, 10, is going to be single over second, runner scores. Other out at third, 8-5. So there's a lot of automatic stuff that happens. So Ron Darling is going to be thrown out of third, but it's a single, RBI single. For Wilson. And that's going to end the inning. All right, so the Mets pick up 2 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. They lead it by a score of 2-0. You know what? I could even put that in the middle here. I have a little bit of space. You're not going to be able to see Shea Stadium very much. Next batter is Dale Murphy. That's a 15. That's line base hit for Murphy. He's on at first. Leadoff single. Craig Nettles, lefty, ex-Yankee. I'm playing him in my 76 replay. Craig Nettles was big in that Yankee dynasty, those Yankee dynasty years of the late 70s. Oh, that's true. We are playing in Atlanta. That's all right. All right. 6-1. And that's a ground ball to short. That's going to be a double play. That's Hojo to Tuffle, back to Hernandez, 6-4-3 double play. 2 innings in a row. And the 2 innings in a row, and the Braves have hit into double plays. 6-4-3 double plays. Ramirez now. Rafi Ramirez. Let's take a look at his baseball card. Rafi Ramirez. See what he looks like. That was Nettles right there. Rafi Ramirez. I saw him somewhere. It's a lot of nice action shots here. They actually improved, the photography big time from the late 70s. Rafi Ramirez. Right-handed batter. Shortstop. Not a very good shortstop. He's graded a 7. That's a 65. That's popped up. And that pop-up is going to be to the catcher, and that retires the side. So that's a 0. That's a 2. All right, there you go. 2-0 Mets. We go to the top of the third. Tim Tuffle leading it off against Zane Smith, 42. That's ball 4. So Tuffle is on at first. We're going to try a hit and run with Appa. I'm not a big hit and run guy. Not a big hit and run guy. But every so often I do try to hit and run because in the late 80s with Hernandez. So here's the hit and run chart. I don't know. Let's see. Let's push this back just a little bit so you can see it a little bit. So that's going to tell us what happened. So here's the pitch to, that's a 36. That's going to be a 14. 14 is strike, runner out stealing. If runner has an 11 on card, in the first column he steals safely, and he does not. Has an 11, but in the second column. So that's the problem with a hit and run, 2-6. Caught stealing, 1 out. And Hernandez now. 51, that's line base hit for Hernandez. He's 1 for 2, and he's on at first. Next is Gary the Kid Carter. 21 on Carter's car. That's a fly to left. It's raining here. Took the day off from work to roll some dice. Didn't feel like traveling around in the rain. Strawberry. 25, that's line drive right field, and Hernandez is going to hustle over to third with 2 outs. So to the top of the third, and here's McReynolds. Now McReynolds is a clutch guy. 53. That's interesting. That's a 17, and I found a card in the back of my car. Let's see if I have it. So that's going to be that's an error roll on APA, and I found this chart, which I at some point in my life, last year, 2 years ago, I laminated, and this is an error randomizer for play results, blah blah blah. So the play result is 17. So I'm going to roll on this chart, see what it becomes. 52 is going to be a 21, and a 21 was with runners on first and third. 21 with first and third. And now, based on what I'm seeing here, Atlanta is terrible. Let me see. Let me add them up. 1, 6, 4, 7. Wait a second. Overfill is playing second base. Okay. So that's 8. And Perry. Should have done this before, but I didn't worry about it. Hold on a second. Okay, let's see this quickly. Just give me 1 second to figure this out. Yeah, Perry's in left field. Nettles is at first base. Holy smokes. First baseman. Oberfell, I guess, is at third, and he is. Center fielder Hall. Left fielder Perry. Man, everybody's playing out of position. Ramirez in position. Virgil in position. Second base for Hubbard. Like 3 or 4 guys are playing out of position. All right, so 21. I don't know the result of that yet, but I'm trying to add this up. So that's 6, 7. Murphy is in right field. That's 10. Nettles is at first base. That's 12. That's 19, 26, 34. Oh, they made it to 36. That's why I don't bother. I just use the B column. Just use the B column most of the time, because most of the time it's in the B column unless it's like a really bad team. So first and third, 21. That's going to be a single in front of the plate. Runners advance 1 base. So that's going to be an RBI single for McReynolds. And Strawberry stops at second base. So that's a second RBI single for McReynolds, and now we have Hojo. Hojo has good power. He hit close to 40 home runs. That's going to be a 56. That's strike 3, inning over. But the Mets strike again, score another run. We go to the bottom of the third. In the bottom of the third, it's going to be Virgil. Check out Virgil's card. Ozzie Virgil. Who would have thought? Ozzie Virgil. Look at that. A 1 at 11, a 1 at 66 for Ozzie Virgil. Now, what did he do? I don't know. Let's find out. What did he do in 1987 to deserve those ones? He played the whole season pretty much. I mean, he had close to 500 plate appearances, and he hit 27 home runs. Holy moly. Ozzie Virgil with 27 home runs. He never replicated that season. The next year, he had 300 at-bats and hit 9 home runs. After that, he was traded or released and picked up, signed by Toronto, played with them 2 years, and had only 16 at-bats, hit 1 home run. So this was the zenith of Ozzie Virgil's career. And Ozzie Virgil's nickname is Mr. Excitement. Hey there, brother. Mr. Moley's in the house. All right. 3-5, and that's ball 4. So Darling walks Virgil. He's on at first. He's a slow runner, so he's going to be going station to station, advancing 1 base at a time, 2 bases on doubles. And it's going to be Glenn Hubbard, 25, and that's a 9. And that's some sort of an out. Let me look with a runner on first. Third baseman in the hole. Long throw, makes it. Virgil over to second. So Virgil is on at second base, and Zane Smith, the batter, with 1 out in the bottom of the third. 3-0 Mets here in the bottom of the third. Fulton County Stadium, although there's a picture of Shea Stadium below this. 2-4. And that's going to be a pop-up left field, and Magadan goes back. In comes McReynolds. McReynolds calls him off, and that retires the side. So we go to top of the 4th. It's going to be Magadan leading off against Zane Smith. That's a 32. That's a ground ball, second base. Hubbard makes the play, 1 down. Ron Darling, 43. That's a comebacker. Pitcher fields his position, 2 down. And it's Wilson. Wilson is 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI single, 61, and that's a foul ball. 26, that's strike 3. Inning over. All right, so Zane Smith settles down a little bit. Next is Albert Hall, 41. That's a ground ball to short. Hojo throws him out. Rafael Santana is the Mets' everyday shortstop, but he seems to be injured because he hasn't been appearing very much. 22, and that's going to be line base hit to right. Oberkfell on with a single. Gerald Perry, 26. That's going to be a ground ball, and 6, 4, 3, double play. Mets turned their 3rd double play of the game, 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, and now 1 in the 4th. Taylor made double play ball, and we go to top of the 5th. Mookie Wilson made out. Now let's look at Tim Tuffle, who's 1 for 1 with a walk and a single, and that's a comebacker. Smith feels it, throws him out. Keith Hernandez singled last at bat and scored a run. 61, that's going to be a foul ball. 62, strike 3. 2 outs. Gary Carter, the kid Carter, 35, and that's ball. 56, that's popped up. Shortstop. Ramirez calling for it, makes the catch. That retires the side. We go to bottom of the 5th. Now, APA really moves. You know, it's not an interactive game like the new games they have now. This was old school, designed in the 50s. So this is, the Cold War era baseball game from the 50s. And I don't think it was ever changed, really. Not dramatically or drastically. I think it was left pretty much the way it started foundationally. I know they have a little bit of something there on the boards. It's called this little section here. I don't know when they devised that. It's called the, let me look, optional fielding ratings for advanced APA players. So you got some advanced optional rules. I don't know when they developed those. But other than that, the game's really fundamentally has never been changed. So it's going to be Murphy in the bottom of the 5th. Dale Murphy's got a 1 at 66 and a 1 at 11. So he had a heck of a year. 63, and that's strike 3. Ron Darling blows it by. Now, Ron Darling and Keith Hernandez are both part of the Mets announcing team with Gary Cohen. Ball 4 to Nettles. Nettles walks. He's on at first, and it's Ramirez. All right, 1 out. Nettles on at first. Now, Nettles, is he a slow player? He is slow, so he's going to be going station to station. And that's going to be a 12 with a runner on first. That may be another double play. Yeah. Let's see. This is a ground. Let's see what it is. I don't want to call it if it's not there. This is a ground ball to short. And again, Hojo flips to the second baseman. Tuffle back to Hernandez. 6-4-3 double play. Holy moly. 6-4-3. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4th double play in 5 innings that the Mets have turned. I turned 6 the other day using inside pitch. Go to the top of the 6th. Again, it's still Ron Darling. Darling was 12-8 with a wow. Ron Darling was 12-8 with a 4.79 ERA. That can't be right in 1987. Let me see. I had to turn the light. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, 4.29. Excuse me, 4.29. Wow, yeah, it's 4.79. I was going to say Zane Smith was 15-10 with a 4.09. All right, so Darryl Strawberry. That's a 55, and that's a ball that's blooped and drops in front of the center fielder for a base hit. That's Strawberry's 3rd hit of the game. Strawberry's on at first. 21 to McReynolds, and that's popped up to the left side. Perry there makes the catch. 1 down in the top of the 6th. Mets up 3-0. 16, that's a ground ball to short. Long throw to first and gets Johnson just by a step. Hojo thinks he's safe, but who cares? There's no replay. Magadan. That's 13, and that's going to be ball 4. 1st and 2nd, 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Ron Darling, the batter. Ron Darling's got a single today. See if he can help himself. 56, no, not going to do it. It's going to be a pop-up to somebody with 1st and 2nd. 34, just just had it. 1st and 3rd, 1st and 2nd, pop-up to the 3rd baseman. Obergefell makes the catch, and that retires the side. 3-0, going down to the bottom of the 6th. And leading it off is going to be Virgil again. Virgil with 27 home runs. This is a career year for Ozzie Virgil, known as Mr. Excitement. And he's from Mayagüez, Puerto Rico. So that's the deal. Ozzie Virgil, here's the pitch, 33. That's going to be a 1 hop off the wall in the left field corner. And after it is McReynolds, and Virgil's going to pull up at second base with a leadoff double. Uh-oh. Bottom of the 6th, leadoff double by Virgil. He's slow. He's going to be going station to station. Hubbard is next. Snake Eyes, that's going to take us to the 2nd column. And that's ripped. And that ball is gone. Hubbard with a 2-run home run. Holy moly. Turn on that slider and sent it over the seats in left field, just barely. 3-2, and Zane Smith. Darling wishes he had that pitch back. Zane Smith, that's a 21 with nobody on base. So 21 with nobody on base is a ground ball, and to Hernandez, and he boots it. So it's going to be an E3 according to the official scorer. Now that's debatable. Tough hop on that. Must have hit something on the a stone or a pebble or something on the field there. But it's going to be an error charge to the first baseman, Hernandez, who's a top fielding first baseman in the league. Yeah, Appa's the game I play the least as well. You got the huge chart. Yeah, you're not the only one all this stuff drives insane. Like I said, this is the atomic age game. That's what I call it. Atomic age Appa. I love Appa. Don't get me wrong. I still play it. I'm replaying the 87 season with it. But it's a little bit of an effort. All right, so we got runner on for Zane Smith. He reached on an error. Right, let's see what we did with Zane Smith. Zane Smith is fast. Okay. So we can try to score him. And Albert Hall. 35. That's going to be ball 4. So we're going to get some action in the Mets bullpen now. Some guys are stirring out there, and I'll tell you, it's Leach, the righty, and Leach is the righty, and you're going to have Sisk is the righty. So 2 righties throwing in the bullpen for the Mets, and now it's Ken Oberkfell. That's a 35. That's ball 4. Bases loaded. And that's going to be it for – got to change this. Got to make it different. Because I'm having a bad feeling. So let's change the pitcher. And who are we going to get? We're going to get Sisk. Doug Sisk is coming in to replace Ron Darling. And I'll write it in when I turn it over. And he's going to face Perry with the bases loaded. Let me get the bases loaded chart. So you got a little chart here, bases loaded. You got to look at that. A lot of results. It may look a little bit complicated, but all it is 3 columns. I'm using the B column. This is for the pitcher and for the hit up to 11. Hits only go up to 11, and then everything else is fielding. We're going to have the infield. We don't have a choice with the bases loaded. Oh, and the game 3-2 now. After that 2-run home run by Hubbard, Mets are going to play the infield in. I was talking to an infielder the other day, and he was saying, well, with the bases loaded, you have an opportunity to either play the infield all the way in or play it back a little so you can still potentially get the double play. So you can get a double play, or you can decide to go for the runner at the plate. Okay, and you have those 2 positions, and those are the only 2 positions that you would have, basically. Well, you can play just for the double play and let the run score. That would be, I guess, the 3rd position. But there's no back when the bases are loaded. When there's a runner on 3rd, there's no real back like on the grass. That's not an option, generally speaking, especially in a close game like this. I mean, you just wouldn't do that. That's like giving up the run automatically. So we're going to play the infield in. Gerald Perry. Oh, boy. That's a 22, and that's an 8. Sisk against his first batter is an A. Now, that's my interpretation of this rule, and I got to show you this interesting this is an advanced rule for APA. This advanced rule, and I'll tell you what it is. Let's see if I get pitching and defense. Optional pitching rules. All right. Defense and pitching. Let me see. Relief. Okay, when a relief pitcher, look at this. When a relief pitcher enters a game in mid-inning, increases grade by 1 letter against the first batter. If that batter bats from the same side the pitcher throws. In other words, if a left-handed pitcher is brought in to face a left-handed hitter, the pitcher's grade is increased by 1 letter. This doesn't apply to the beginning of an inning, or if a pitcher is a grade A, AC, or AB. Okay, that's good. So Sisk is a righty, so we're not going to get that advantage. We rolled a 22, and that's going to be an 8. And I had the bases loaded to see what happens there. And that's going to be a fly out, sacrifice fly, deep fly to center field. Back goes Wilson, and tagging up is Smith. So that's a sacrifice fly, and the game is tied. RBI for Perry. First and second now, 1 out, and it's Dale Murphy. Dale Murphy had a heck of a year. I wish there was stats on here on these cards. That's a 35, and that's a 40. With first and second, what is a 40? That could be an unusual type of scenario. But again, you got to fumble through the book, or you have these huge charts. And what did we just say? It was a 35 is a 40. A 40B says error on the second baseman. So it's a ground ball to Tuffle, and he boots it. Bases are loaded. That's the second error of the inning for the Mets. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on here without really checking the error rating. Like, it could be the greatest second baseman in the world. You don't get a chance to check. It's just an automatic error. It doesn't matter. I mean, I get it. It's an abstraction. I get it. but there is an additional for that error. Well, only on certain results, and I don't think that result was part of it. The 40. Where's that chart that I showed you before? Oh, here it is. Yeah. For this one, error randomizer only is 15 to 21, so 40 wouldn't. Unusual play randomizer 40 would come into play, and I could roll on the randomizer. But I already wrote in the error, so I'm going to leave it at that. So bases are loaded, and it's Greg Nettles, a lefty, stepping up. And who did the Mets use in this game? I got because there's a lot of lefties in this lineup, and I brought in a righty. And I think that was the following game that they used Sisk, and I never bothered to check this game. So let me go back real quick and check this particular game and see who the Mets used in this game. Gene Walter, Terry Leach, and Jesse Orosco. Let's see. Gene Walter. Terry Leach is a righty. Orosco, I know, is a lefty. Gene Walter's a lefty. No wonder. I'm going to bring in Gene Walter because this is not working for me. I'm going to bring in Gene Walter to pitch. So we got Gene Walter's coming in to pitch Nettles. So I had Sisk, a righty. That did not work out for me. Now I'm going to have Walter. And the way I have Walter's card, check out Walter's card. Walter's card is a freebie made up by, well, you have to donate, Steve's APA card maker. This is for those one-off guys. I mean, he didn't play the whole season. I think he played a month with the Mets. Gene Walter. One payoff pitch, 2 strat, 3 deep drive. Wait. 1 payoff pitch, 2 is strat, 3 is deep drive, 4 is inside, 5 is pine tar. I got to check out pine tar. I haven't gotten there yet. But I will. So Walter's going to be an A with the bases loaded against Greg Nettles. That's a 45. Oh, and he's a W. That's ball 4. So that forces in a run. So the Braves take the lead. Bases are still loaded, only 1 out. This is one of those crazy innings. Ramirez next. Now Ramirez is a righty. Gonna leave Walter in there. Here's a pitch to Ramirez. That's a 52. That's a 27. Infield is in. 27 with the bases loaded. My third baseman, I believe, is a 3. So that's not very good. Let's double check that. Magadan is a 3. So that's low. That's like a C, third baseman. So we're going to look in the C column. 27, bases loaded, batter safe at first, fielder's choice, runner out on second, force out at third, others advance. So there's no chance to get the runner at home. X is a strikeout. He's not a strikeout. So it's a fielder's choice, 5 to 4. Oh, no, wait. Runner on second, 4. Okay, so it's a ground ball to Magadan, who steps on third for the force out there. So there's a run scores. He's out. Force out. And that's a fielder's choice, 5. But an RBI for Ramirez. He's on at first. Nettles to second. And it's a 5 to 3 lead now for the Braves. And Virgil, we're going to have to jump over to the next box. 22, and that's going to be a 7 off a B pitcher with first and second. Again, going back to the chart. And that's going to be a little flare that's going to drop in there. Murphy was out. It was Nettles. Nettles is going to hold up, not going to score because he's slow. And we hold up those guys. So the bases are loaded. Ozzie Virgil singles. Bases loaded again, but there's 2 outs this time. And it's going to be Glenn Hubbard. This is a long inning. And that's a 14. That's a 12. 12 with the bases loaded. This game really bogged down in this inning. Holy smokes. A 12 is going to be a ground ball to the shortstop, flips to the second baseman, and that retires the side for the force out. 6-4. We're going to have to make both these innings 6 inning, and this inning is going to become 7. And that retires the side, but not before the Braves pick up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runs, and they lead it 5-3. 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th. Mets use 3 pitchers. And it's going to be Wilson, Zane Smith, the pitch, 26. That's strike 3. Gets him on the curve. Tuffle next. Timmy Tuffle, 56. That's ball 4. Tuffle walks. That's the second time he's walked today. Keith Hernandez, 52, 27. Oberkfell is a 5 third baseman. He may turn this. It may be a double play. Runner on first, 5 third baseman. It's going to be a double play, 5-4, 4-3. And that retires the side. So that's the first double play turned by the Braves. The Mets have turned 4, but they're still losing by a score of 5-3. Holy moly, but the Mets have a powerful offense. So do not count out the Mets in this game. They have a powerful offense. All right, it's going to be the pitcher, Smith. That's another thing about these ABPB cards. There's no limit to their pitching outside of the runs allowed. Yeah, it would have been nice to have. Now they have a number. The new cards have like a little number, so you know how many batters they should face. 36. 33, that's a pop-up. 33 is a pop-up to the second baseman. Right on the right side, and calling for it is Tuffle, makes the catch. Albert Hall is 0 for 1 with 2 walks and a run scored. 66. That's going to take us to the second column, and that's driven into the gap, and that's going to bounce off the wall, splits the outfielders. Hall around first, thinking about going to third, changes his mind, stays at second with a 1-out double. Oberkfell. 64. Fly ball right field. Strawberry. Oberkfell, I don't think Hall is fast. He is fast. So with that ball to right field, the runner on second, a fast runner may have the chance to tag up. Don't know. Let me double check that real quick. He's average right fielder, 32, fast to third. So he does tag up and goes to third on that. So 2 outs. Hall at third, and it's Perry. Perry on the day is hit into 2 double plays and then hit a sacrifice fly. 0 for 2 with an RBI. Here's the pitch from Walter, 32. That's a ground ball, second base. That retires the side. All right, we go to top of the 8th. It's 5-3 Braves. Let's put some Walters in there. He's going to be pulled. It's going to be Carter, Gary Carter. 15, and that's line base hit. Carter singles. To lead off the inning. So Mets have the tying run at home plate in the form of Strawberry, Reynolds, and then Johnson. 3 big-time power hitters. I think Strawberry hit 39 home runs in 1987. So let's recap what's going on here real quick. It's 5-3 Braves. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Zane Smith is still in there, although there is there looks like a couple of bodies moving about in the bullpen for the Atlanta Braves. And it's going to be it's a 5-3 ball game with Carter standing at first base after he singled to lead off the inning. And it's Darryl Strawberry now. Now, Zane Smith really settled down after the first couple of innings 2 and 3, where he struggled somewhat, allowed 6 hits and 7 hits and a walk in those 2 innings. Mets scored 3 runs on him. After that, he's basically really settled down and started to show his capabilities. So it's Darryl Strawberry, he's a left-handed batter. And we're going to roll. Oh, that's popped up. So Strawberry just missed it. Holy moly. And he's not happy. He knows he just missed it. Darryl Strawberry trying to hit his 15th home run of the year in only what? I think this is the 26th game. Another power hitter with a 1 at 66 and a 5 at 11 and 33 is Walter McReynolds, Big Mac. It's a 32. And Carter goes in hard and breaks it up. And Hubbard doesn't like that. They're having some words out there. Umpire gets between them. Nothing comes of it. And now it's going to be Johnson. Johnson hit another high 30 home run. Where's Johnson here? What did I do with Johnson? There he is. So Johnson has great power. He has a 1 at 66 and a 1 at 11. So let's see if we can hit one of those numbers, 66 or an 11. Here's the pitch from Zane Smith to Hojo, Norman Johnson. Oh, that's a good 12. Just missed it by one number. Look at that. And that's a ground ball to the second baseman. Flips the shortstop covering, and that retires the side. That was exciting. All right, those are the guys that you want to come up in that situation. All right, we go to the bottom of the eighth. We go to the bottom of the eighth. And we're going to get a new pitcher for the Mets. We're going to get – who are we going to get? We're going to get Leach, Terry Leach. Who do we have? We have lefty, and righty. So we're going to get Terry Leach to come in the bottom of the eighth. He's a B pitcher with a Z. So Leach is a BZ. Here's the pitch to Murphy. That's a 55, and that is a fly ball center field. 1 out. Greg Nettles. 23, that's a fly to right. Overs Strawberry makes the catch, and now it's Rafi Ramirez, the shortstop. Not a very good shortstop. 53, that's where we're going to use our card. Our card is right here, so that's going to be a 19. We're going to use the randomizer of 44. 44 says 20. 20 is going to be an E4. Have that memorized. So Rafi's on an error on the first baseman. Just make sure it's not a two-base error. No, it's an E4. And that is the third error committed by the Mets, I believe. They had 2 errors in that big inning. Yeah, they had an error by the first baseman, Hernandez, and later on, an error. This is the second error committed by Tuffle in the game. Ozzie Virgil. Now, he has some crazy power. Here's the pitch to Virgil. That's a deep drive. Left field. Back goes McReynolds. To the track. To the wall. That's gone. 7-3. 2-run homer by Ozzie Virgil. Oh, no. Mets are down 7-3 now. He had a career year, Ozzie Virgil. Hit 27 home runs and 400 at-bats. So that's why he qualified for that 1 at 66 and that 1 at 11. I should give ABPA more of a chance. Yes, man. Go back in time, and go back in time to the 50s and play ABPA. Hey, I love the 50s. I'm going to watch the Honeymooners after this. So it's Glenn Hubbard. Glenn Hubbard with 2 outs. 7-3 Braves. Yeah, Virgil hit that 2-run homer after. These are both unearned runs because the error by Tuffle extended the inning. There were already 2 outs. All right, here goes Hubbard. 25. That's a single ground ball, left side. Base hit. Zane Smith, we're going to let him bat because we're going to try to get him to go a complete game. This is 87, using ABPA from the 50s. 63, that's a fly ball to right. I'd like to see the ABPA charts from the 50s. I'm going to start looking into that. I'm going to look into that when I'm done with this doubleheader. So who's it? Leach is in there. That's my 4th pitcher. And this is the top of the ninth. 2 more runs. 7-3. So this is going to be tougher for the Mets to come back now. Magadan is leading it off, and then we're going to have a pinch hitter. It's going to be Dykstra. Here's the pitch. Oh, that's a foul ball. Souvenir for a lucky fan. 62. That's ball 4. So Zane Smith walks the leadoff batter. Next is going to be Dykstra. He's coming in to pinch hit. If I want to, I don't know if I want to bring in this particular batter. Let me look at something real quick here. 87 Mets schedule. I don't know if they would bring in this lefty to face the lefty, Zane Smith. I don't know if they'd do that. They probably wouldn't do that. So let's see who they do bring in as a pinch hitter, if they have any pinch hitters at all. The Mets do bring in Wally Backman to pinch hit. Let's see. I think Backman was it Wally Backman a switch hitter? You should know that. Where is Wally Backman? What did I do with Backman? Oh, I know where he is. He's getting ready for next game. All right, Backman is right here. Backman is a switch hitter, so we're going to bring in Backman. We're gonna get rid of Dykstra. And we're bringing in Backman to pinch hit. All right, there it is. So Dykstra's back in the bullpen, back in the dugout. And we go to Wally Backman with nobody out, 1 on. Mets are down 7-3. Zane Smith trying to complete this game, see what happens. That's a ground ball, second base. Hubbard flips the shortstop, throw to first, not in time. So Backman beats it out. Fielder's choice, he's on at first. And next is Wilson. Mookie Wilson, not Willie Wilson. Willie Wilson's another Kansas City Royal player. All right, Mookie Wilson, 1 on, 1 out, 16. Ground ball, shortstop. Long throw, gets him. Moving to second is Backman. And now it's Tuffle. Tuffle made 2 errors today, and they hurt the Mets big time. Here's the pitch to Tuffle. That's a fly ball, deep right field. Back goes the right fielder. I believe the right fielder is Murphy to the track, makes the catch. Ball game over. Mets lose it. Mets lose it by a score of 7-3. The loss is going to go to Darling. The win and the complete game goes to Smith. And so 3 runs, 7. Let's add up the hits real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 hits for the Mets, 3 errors. 3 runs, 10 hits, 3 errors. And the hits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hits for the Braves. And no errors, I believe. Braves made no errors. All right, so that's it. Mets, 3 runs, 10 hits, 3 errors. Braves, they win it, 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Pretty good ball game. Who is going to win the MVP? I guess Zane Smith. He goes the distance, allowing 10 hits. And, Ozzie Virgil, MVP with 3 hits, 3 for 3 and a walk. He had a double, a single, and a 2-run homer, 3 RBIs. Not sure if he got an RBI here. Oh, no, he did not get an RBI here because that was leading off the inning. So Ozzie Virgil gets the MVP. Zane Smith gets the co-MVP. And we go to the next game. Now, the next game is a little bit different. I hope you're ready for something a little bit different. Next game is called Fast Appa. Second game of a doubleheader. This is going to be called Fast Appa. And the reason it's called Fast Appa is because all the results are on the page. All the results are on the page. And it's going to be Bobby Ojeda versus Dean Palmer. Let's look and see if we can find Dean Palmer here. See if he's part of this set. Dean Palmer. Oh, Dave Palmer. Not Dean Palmer, but Dave Palmer. Excuse me. Dean Palmer is a player on the Texas Rangers. And against Bobby Ojeda. So we're going to put the Braves player here. Let's see if we can find Bobby Ojeda. And there he is, Bobby Ojeda. Left hand, right. These are nice action shots from this 88 baseball card set. I think I got it for about $20. Brings the game to life. You know, you get to see the players in action. It's kind of cool. So let's get the team ready. And it's going to Leach, Sisk, Darling, they're out. Magadan is in. Lyons is going to be in there. Carter's out. Lyons is going to be towards the end. Tuffle is not playing in this game. Dykstra, I believe, is playing. It's Dykstra and Backman. And there he is, Dykstra, Backman, and then all the regular suspects. Strawberry, Hojo. Oh, there's no – Wilson is in left field. So Wilson is playing. Where is he? What did I do with him? I think I threw him away. I threw him in the trash. Ojeda, where's Wilson? Wilson. Wilson is playing, but he's batting 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth. That's unusual. Wilson, Strawberry's fourth. Wilson is fifth. And then it's Johnson, Magadan, Lyons, and the pitcher, Bobby Ojeda, is a CZ. CZ. And all these other guys sit down. For the Braves, just a couple of changes. For the Braves, it's going to be the home team. Hall is going to be leading off. Hall leads off. Followed by Ramirez. Ramirez is going to be moved up to the second slot. There he is. And then it's a guy named Motley who only had a few. I had to use Steve's Appa card maker for Motley. He only had about 9 at-bats, I think. He's batting third. Murphy is batting fourth. Then Simmons is in this game. Ted Simmons, the Ted Simmons, has a 7-44, 7-22. But he's a J3, so he missed a lot of the season. Virgil is after that. Let's see Virgil is after that. Then it's Obergefell, Hubbard, all right. And we got it. And then it's Dave Palmer. He's a DY. Dave Palmer is a DY. So let's do that. Palmer, DY. I put it in the wrong place. Palmer, DY. Against Ojeda. And Bobby Ojeda was a CZ. So Ojeda has the advantage. A CZ. Let's get started. I'm going to show you how we play this. Let me see if this light doesn't bother us. I'm going to add a little bit more light here. All right. So I'm going to show you how we play this. Let's fold the paper so it fits. It's going to move pretty fast. The only thing is that we're going to have to take a little extra time to flip the cards. But that's the only thing that's going to slow us down. Let's start off. It starts off with a roll of a 64 on Lenny Dykstra. It's going to be the lineup for the Mets is Dykstra, Backman, Hernandez. Strawberry in the cleanup spot. Wilson in left field batting fifth, batting sixth is Hojo. Seventh is Magadan. Eighth is Lyons. And batting ninth is Bobby Ojeda. So it's a 64. We look on the card. That's strike 3. So a strikeout for Palmer, Dave Palmer. Next is Wally Backman. He's a switch hitter. He's a fast second baseman. He's an average second baseman. And that's a 55, and that's line base hit with Hernandez. And actually, I I rolled, but I have a number here that I can use. Let's see where those numbers are. Right here, it's a 45. So we're going to use that 45, and that's going to be, unless if Backman has an 11. Oh, he does. That's a stolen base for Backman. So Backman makes it a second on a stolen base because he has an 11 in the first column. All right, so there's an RBI opportunity, and it's going to be a 30. Blah, blah, blah. For that, I should 34. Hold on a second. I should let me get out of the dice. The dice are throwing me off, so I put the dice to the side. So let's replay that. That's a 34. I said it was a hit and run. So let me look at hit and run with a runner on first. Hit and run with a runner on first. They got hit and run with runner on first and third, and runner on first. I know Al, Red Sox fan, likes to do hit and runs with runners on first and second. This game doesn't let you do that. Hit and run play with a runner on first, we rolled a 34, which on his card is a 31, and a 31 is a single to right center field, runner to third. So instead of a stolen base, it's going to be a single. So runner on the move, and Hernandez slices it right through the hole vacated by the shortstop's covering. So it would be the shortstop, even though the result in the book was a little bit different. Strawberry, first and third, one out, top of the first. 34, that's a fly ball center field. First and third, fly ball center field. Again, everything, you got to look at the rule book on this thing. Fly ball center field, 31, and that's a runner's hold. So it's a shallow fly to center field. Runner's hold. That was a big opportunity, big RBI opportunity there for the clutch fourth place batter. And now it's Mookie Wilson. That's a 15 line drive base hit. First and third against a deep pitcher. That's going to be a single, one-run scores. Other to second, unless he's an F. Hernandez is not an F, so he's going to stop. So an RBI single by Mookie Wilson. Mets are up 1-0. Next is Hojo. Here's the pitch to Hojo. It's a 64. That's a 39. There goes Wilson. Throw down. Got him. 2-6. Caught stealing on Wilson, and that's going to retire the side. All right, so that's how you play. You don't roll the dice. All the numbers, I don't know if you can see them, but they're on the scorecard. So Hall is leading off against Bobby Ojeda. He rolls a 34. That's a fly ball center field. Wilson. Oh, Dykstra is actually in center field. Wilson is replacing McReynolds, so he's playing today. So the lineup is going to be Hall at center field, Ramirez at short, Motley in left field, Murphy in right field. Batting fifth is Simmons. Batting sixth is Ozzie Virgil. Batting seventh is Obergefell. Batting eighth is Hubbard, the second baseman. And then Dean Palmer, the pitcher. Dave Palmer, the pitcher, is batting ninth. Ramirez. 23, that's a ground ball to third base. Magadan throws him out. Motley, 64, that's a 29. That's a comebacker. And Ojeda feels his position, and that retires the side. That was quick. All right. It's Hojo. Where's Hojo? Hojo was up when Wilson was thrown out, so he's going to get another life, but doesn't do anything about it. This one, let me make sure he doesn't have an X. Palmer doesn't have an X. I don't think he has anything on his card. So that's going to be a ground ball second base, one out. Magadan up next rolls a 63. It's a fly to center, two out. And then Lyons with a 46, strike three. That retires the side. Mets are up 1-0 going to the bottom of the second. Takes more time to flip the cards and turn the paper over than to play the inning. So leading off is Murphy with a 42, and that's ball four. So Murph is on at first. Next is Simmons, and we roll a 32. That's a ground ball second base. Backman gets the force. Simmons is on at first. He's slow, so he's going to go base to base. 64, it's going to be a 38. That's going to be a ball. So we're going to have to grab another number. We'll grab this one, 51, a 9. That's going to be a ground ball. Well, let's see what happens with that ground ball because it's a C pitcher. A 9 is usually an out, and it's going to be a ground ball to the third baseman in the hole. Spins, fires, and gets Virgil. He had plenty of time. Going to second is Simmons. And now Oberkfell, 45. That's a walk. First and second. Bottom of the second. 2 outs. Hubbard, 23. That's a ground ball, second base. Backman throws to Hernandez. Leading off is going to be, Lions made the last out. Leading off is going to be Ojeda, 41. Ground ball short. Ramirez, long throw, gets him. Dykstra, ground ball, second base. And then Beckman. And that's a ground ball, third base. 3 up, 3 down. Bottom of the third. This is called Fast APA. And anybody contact me, I'll get them the paper if they're interested in trying it out. It's kind of different, kind of fun, just to mix it up, keep it lively. All right, Dean Palmer, 22, and that's going to be a single. So ground ball up the middle and through in the center field. So Dean Palmer from Glen Falls, New York. Dave Palmer. I'm going to keep on calling him Dean, so I'll just continue to correct myself. Hall. That's going to be line base hit, and Palmer over to third unless he's slow. He is not slow. So he's going to go to third, first and third, here in the bottom of the third. 30 Doid and Doid. And it's going to be Ramirez, and there goes Hall. And throw it down, he is safe. APA does automatic stolen bases. Automatic stolen bases for APA. And Palmer, Ramirez up. And that's going to be a 62. That's going to be a fly to right. Motley next. And it's a 56, 34 with a runner on first and second and third. A 34, probably just a pop-up. It's going to be a pop-up to short. Hojo, and that retires the side. Oh, no, wait. That's out number 2. Excuse me. Next is Murphy, 56. That's another pop-up. Back-to-back pop-ups to the infield, and that retires the side. So the Braves failed to score in the bottom of the third, and it's Mets 1-0. We go to top of the fourth. Top of the fourth. It's going to be Hernandez leading it off. 36, ball 4. So Hernandez walks. Strawberry next. That's a 42. And let me look at the pitcher. Palmer is a Y. So he's not going to get – it's going to be ball 4. Back-to-back walks. Wilson, 62. That's a strikeout. So 1 out in the inning. Next is Hojo. 61's a 22 with runners on first and second. Look in the APA book. Runners on first and second. The 22 is going to be a comebacker, and it's booted by the pitcher, Dave Palmer, and the bases are loaded. So it's going to be an E1. Official scorer gives the pitcher an error on that, and Magadan. And this is going to be the pitch, and lifts it to right field. Back goes Murphy. It's a fly ball here, but it's deep enough, and I think it's going to score a run. 32. Murphy's a 3 out there. Runners on second and third advance. He's a 1, I'm sorry. He's a fielding column 1, I believe, out there. Which is a 3. It's a 3, but that turns into fielding column 1. That's a fly ball, deep right field, and that's going to advance both runners. So the Mets are up 2, and then Strawberry is going to hustle over to third. RBI for Magadan, and next is Lions. It's a 25, and that's an 8. That's a single base hit. 3-0, and Hojo hustles over to third. RBI, 2-out RBI single by Barry Lyons, replacing Carter today, giving Carter a rest. Bobby Ojeda next. So 41, that's a ground ball, shortstop, and that retires the side. 1, 2, 3 outs. Mets pick up 2 more. They lead at 3-0, go to the bottom of the fourth. Doubleheader APA, 1987 Mets versus the Atlanta Braves. Leading off going to be Simmons. It says 11. That's a 0. So we go to the second column. We're going to pull the second column number. It's a 66. That's a deep drive. And he's a lefty. So that's a deep drive to left field. And back goes the left fielder. Left fielder is Wilson to the track, to the wall. That's gone. 3-1. Simmons, Ted Simmons gets a hold of one here. Drives it over into the left field seats. For some lucky fans. And that's a 31. That's ball 4. So Virgil's on it first. And here's the pitch to Oberkfell. He drives that one. And here's another number at 11. That's a deep drive. And the game is tied. That's gone. No doubt about that one. 2-run home run for Oberkfell. 3-3. Ken Oberkfell sent that fastball, that Ojeda fastball, into center field. And there was no doubt. Got all of that. Hubbard. 43, and that's a ground ball comebacker. Ojeda feels his position, 1 out. Next is Palmer. Again, a little dribbler, and Ojeda throws him out. So back-to-back dribblers to the pitcher. And now it's Albert Hall, 24, and that's a fly ball left field. Wilson's there. That retires the side, but not before the Braves score 3 runs and tie it 3-3 in the top of the 5th. 3-3, top of the 5th now. Top of the order for the Mets. Top of the 5th, top of the order. It's going to be Lenny Dykstra. He ground ball right side and through for a base hit. So Dykstra's on with a single. Leadoff hitter's on. Backman, 25. That's a ground ball second base. Flips to the shortstop, back to first. 4-6-3 double play. Nice double play started by Hubbard. And it's Keith Hernandez. And that's a deep drive. Gets a hold of that. And we're going to use a number right here. Oh, that's going to be cut off quickly. And they're going to keep Hernandez to a single. 2-out single for Keith Hernandez. He's 2 for 2. Now it's Darryl Strawberry. And that's strike 3. And that retires the side. Go to the bottom of the 5th. All tied at 3. And up is Rafi Ramirez. That's a ground ball, second base. Bachman makes the play. Next is Motley, and that's going to be a base hit. So Motley's on at first. He's average speed. Murphy next to 62, strike 3. And Simmons, 34, fly to center. And that retires the side. We go to the top of the 6th. Strawberry made the last out. He struck out. It's going to be Wilson. Wilson with a 21. That's a fly to left. And then it's a ground ball to the second baseman, Hubbard, and he boots it. That's a second error on Atlanta. Got to put that in there. Runs, error, 2 errors. So Magadan up. And that's a 12. A 12 is a 25, and that's going to be double play, I'm pretty sure. It's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. Second double play turned by Atlanta, and that retires the side. 3-3, you go to bottom of the 6th. Ozzie Virgil, the always dangerous Ozzie Virgil. And that looks like a, what is that? Can't even see that. Looks like a 14. Oh, no, it's a 44. That's going to be line drive base hit for Virgil. So leadoff hitter is on. Virgil's slow, so he's going to go station to station here in the bottom of the 6th. Next batter, Oberkfell. Here's the pitch, lifts it to left. Wilson is there. Now it's Hubbard. And Hubbard gets a hold one and drives it, and that's going to be a double for Hubbard. Second and third, 1 out. So that ball split the outfielders and rolled to the wall. Dykstra got it in quickly. Hubbard stopped at second, and Virgil stopped at third. He's slow. And now we got Palmer. Bottom of the 6th, 1987. Second and third. Oh, boy. All right. So, second and third. And we got a lefty on the mound. We got rid of all our lefties. They're not playing. Who do I have as a pinch hitter, righty pinch hitter? Guy named Renicky. I wonder if Renicky was still on the team at this point. New York Mets. Let's see who they used as a pinch hitter. Deion James was used as a pinch. He's a lefty, another lefty. Let me go to next game, see what happens. I'm looking for a pinch hitter for the Braves. Pinch hitter, righty pinch hitter. Gary Renicky. Perfect. He is around because he plays in the following game. So Renicky is going to pinch hit for Palmer. Let's write that in with second and third. Renicky. Pinch hitter. All right. In the bottom of the sixth. So he's got power. He's got a 1 at 66 and a 5 at 11. Bobby Ojeda versus the righty Renicky here in the bottom of the sixth with second and third. Mets are going to bring the infield in on this. And here is the roll. It's a 25. That's a 9. With second and third against a C pitcher, it's going to be a fly out to right. That's going to be deep enough. Oh, wait, Ozzie Virgil, hold on. That's not going to be deep enough for Ozzie Virgil because he's holding. So most other players would have had a sacrifice fly on that. Had a more adept base runner been at third base. So there's 2 outs now. So the Mets are 1 out of one out away from getting out of this second and third jam with only 1 out. There's 2 outs now, and it's Albert Hall. Here's the pitch to Albert Hall. That's a 64, strike 3. And Ojeda blows it by Albert Hall, and that ends the inning. The game remains tied at 3-3. We go to top of the 7th. Top of the 7th, Lions, Ojeda, and the top of the order. Lions lines it, base hit, single for Barry Lyons. He's an average runner, so he's going to stay in there. Bobby Ojeda in the top of the 7th. Oh, man. We're going to try to bunt with Ojeda and keep him in the game. I'm going to try to bunt because I don't want to make that many changes because then I got to input this into another system, iScore, and I don't want to make a lot of changes. So we're just going to bunt here. Yeah, Appa Bolts. That's right. Ojeda, okay. So the roll is a 52. That's a 20 strikes on the batter. We're going to roll again. We're going to got to grab a number from right there. 45. Hope I didn't use that already. 45 is going to be a 14, and a 14 is a base on balls unless it's a Z pitcher, and he's not. So they're going to walk the pitcher on this one. They're going to walk the – oh, wait a second. Hold on a second. Hold on, Cowboy. I just remembered I pinch hit. I need a new pitcher. All right, so – let's see. In the order that they're at, well, Acker is – who's their closer? Hold on a second. Closer's not coming in, but I got 3 other pitchers who can come in. Their closer is Gene Garber. So he's not coming in. So I got 1, 2, and 3 in the order that they're there to see who comes in. So 1. So Acker is going to come in. He's the guy that replaced, and he's a C, so everything still stands. Ack comes in, and he allows a single to Lyons. Ojeda walks, and now it's Dykstra. And Dykstra's going to try to bunt here in the top of the 7th. Not much of a bunter, but Dykstra's going to try to bunt. That's a 55. It turns into an 8. Sacrifice with runners on first and second. Oh, wait, what did I look at? Hold on a second. I was on the wrong sacrifice. Oh, no, I was on the right sacrifice. First and second, what did we say it was, an 8? And that's going to be a successful sacrifice back to the pitcher, turns and throws to the second baseman, and that's a big sacrifice, 1-4. So Dykstra gives up his at-bat, moves both runners over to second and third for Wally Backman. And here's the pitch to Backman. And what did we say Acker was? We said Acker was a C. That's going to be lined with C pitch right fielder. And this is going to get a run in. Lyons is going to score. So the Mets are up. Sacrifice fly to right. Line drive, but right at the right fielder. But deep enough to score Lyons. And Ojeda stays at second base. For Keith Hernandez. Acker's a righty. You know what? Do we want to bring in a lefty here? We got Olwine who throws left. We're going to bring in Olwine. Bring in Olwine to face Hernandez, a lefty. Lefty versus lefty, so he's going to go up to a C, become a C pitcher. He's going to face Hernandez here with a runner at second base and 2 outs. Mets are up 4-3 on the sacrifice fly by Wally Backman here in the top of the 7th. Olwine, he's a deep pitcher with a Z. And we're going to, here's the roll, or here's the pitch. So 41, that's a ground ball to short. And that's going to retire the side. But the Mets pick up a big run on the sacrifice fly. They lead it by a score of 4-3. Go to bottom of the 7th. Bottom of the 7th. Bobby Ojeda still in there. He's going to face Ramirez. Going to face Ramirez, Motley, and Murphy. Here's the pitch. 46, and that's a fly to left. Wilson is there. Makes the catch. Motley's next. Pop up right side. Back goes Hernandez. In comes Strawberry. Strawberry calls him off. 2 outs. Murphy now. Strike 3. Blows him away. Bottom of the 7th. Mets are up 4-3. Go to the top of the 8th now. Keith Hernandez made the last out. Darryl Strawberry, 51. And that's line base hit to right. So Strawberry's on at first against Ed Olwine. Now, Ed Olwine has one of those extra player cards, those XPs, I guess, extra players, or extra XBs, I think APA calls them. Some teams or some groups or companies call them XPs or XBs. I think he's one of those, the square card. I have those with the set. So Strawberry's on at first. Next is Wilson. Here's the pitch from Olwine to Wilson. Wilson's a switch hitter, batting righty. And that's going to be a single ground ball through the infield, first and second. Hojo. Howard Johnson. Howard Johnson has a ton of power. Here's the pitch to Johnson, 42, and that's going to be ball 4. No, it isn't, ball 2. Again, we're going to have to pull a number, maybe a 34, and that's a fly ball shallow center. 1 out. Magadan is next, left-handed batter, 32. That's a fly to right. Towards the line is Murphy, makes the catch, 2 away. And Lyons, strike 3, and that retires the side. We go to bottom of the 8th now. Bobby Ojeda still in the ballgame for the Mets. Squeezing everything he's got. He's pitched a heck of a game if you look at it. He's allowed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 hits, 2 walks. Struck out 1, 2, 3. All right, Ted Simmons. Ted Simmons, Simba against Bobby Ojeda. That's a 16, 20 ground ball shortstop. Hojo throws him out, 1 away. Virgil 52. That's going to be ground ball to third. Magadan, 2 out. Obergefell now, 52. Another ground ball to third base. This is in the hole, long throw, and he gets them by half a step at first. 3 up, 3 down. We go to top of the ninth. And going to see a pinch hitter. Going to see a pinch hitter for the Mets here in the top of the ninth. It's 4-3. Mets are up. Let's see if we can hold on to that lead. And we're going to use Kevin McReynolds. Kevin McReynolds is going to come up to pinch hit for Ojeda. Pinch hitter. I'm going to write him in. All right, so it's McReynolds, and the roll is I can't see it. Holy moly! I just wrote over the number. Looks like a 16, and that's going to be a ground ball shortstop, 1 away. Next is Dykstra, and Dykstra lines it to center for a single. He's on at first. Backman, and that's a strikeout. Second strikeout for Olwine. And Hernandez, 26, strike 3. Third strikeout for Olwine. That's out number 3. Mets leave 1, score none in the top of the ninth. We go to the bottom of the ninth. So the Mets, it's Hubbard, a pinch hitter. And so we're going to bring in Orozco. Jesse Orozco, try to save this game. Now, Orozco's a D, but I believe he was a closer. But, of course, APA doesn't tell you any of that. So he's a D, Y, X, Y, Z. He's a D, X, Y, Z. So a little bit archaic. APA is not modern. APA, they never really messed with it too much. They created a master game, which is, a lab of mechanics that I try to avoid. I've looked at it a few times, and it got me dizzy. So Glenn Hubbard is leading it off here in the bottom of the ninth for the Braves. The Braves are down by a run. Jesse Orozco, a D pitcher, which is really, although he does have an exit Y, which is supposedly means something, air quotes, but he's terrible. In other words, if you roll a hit, it's a hit. Hubbard. Glenn Hubbard leading off, and that's popped up to catcher. Lyons throws his mask away. Makes the catch. We're going to bring in a pinch hitter. Another pinch hitter, and against a lefty. That's why we brought the lefty in, because they got a lot of lefties on the bench. So they got a lot of lefties on the bench, and we brought that lefty in to avoid lefties. See if we can. They'll bring up their righties. Renicky was one of their righties. Let's see if we can find another righty. Ozzie Virgil. Oh, Bruce Benedict is going to pinch hit. Bruce Benedict is going to pinch hit. He's on the team. I just saw him. Eggs Benedict, that's his nickname. So he's going to pinch hit for the pitcher spot. Olwine, who went 2 1/3, did a pretty good job. Olwine went 2 1/3, allowed 3 hits, but no runs. And it's going to be Eggs Benedict. Pinch hitter. And that's a fly ball, right field. Right there is Strawberry for out number 2. 2 down in the bottom of the ninth, and it's Albert Hall. And Albert Hall is not in the penitentiary. It's actually Mel Hall who's in jail. So I have to retract that comment earlier. So Mets are one out away from a 4-3 victory. And here's the pitch. It's a ground ball, second base. And Backman up with it, throws to Hernandez, and the ball game is over. Mets win it by a score of 4-3. Let's do the hits here. So Bobby Ojeda is going to get the victory. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 hits. So it's basically runs, hits, and errors. So 6 hits, 3 runs, 4 runs there. How many hits for the Mets? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hits for the Mets. And I don't think the Mets made any errors. Let me double check real quick. No, Mets played a decent defensive ball game, and that's the end. So the winner, the loss goes to Mets. Actually, the loss doesn't go to Palmer because wait a second, the loss is going to go to Acker because there was already when the Mets scored that run, Acker had taken over in the 7th, so the loss is going to go to Acker. So the Mets had 4 runs, 10 hits, no errors against the Braves. 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors, and that's our doubleheader. We did the fast APA, which should go a lot faster without the talking. And if you, I was thinking of basically scanning the cards so you would have them, you wouldn't have to flip them, and you just move the sheet, and then you would go like that. That's another way of doing this. In other videos, I laid out the cards. I didn't do it this time. I just didn't feel like doing. I wanted to change it up a little bit, and I wanted to do fast app again. So anyway, this is CP Cards and Dice, and this is your home for chat, tutorials, strategy, player profiles, history, news, and so much more. I'm glad that all you guys stopped by, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was entertaining, and I listen to these broadcasts all the time. There are not enough of them. I listen to them when I travel. I turn it on, I put it on my phone, and I connect it to my car radio, and I listen to the old replays of the 70s and 60s and 70s and 80s and so forth and so on. So thank you for all those guys that do these replays, and Philip Reynolds, I'll see you later. Apple Bolt, thank you for stopping by. Molly, it was good to see you, and I love your information. You can't talk about this stuff with a lot of regular people, right? At work, we don't talk about, our hobby. Al, Red Sox fan, was here. That was great seeing him. Thank you for stopping by. And everybody else who did not comment, thank you. And I will see you soon. CP Cards and Dice saying hasta la vista, amigo.